Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to our math class today. We're going to be doing lesson 9, which is compare metric lengths. And before we get started, I was just trying to think, how do you guys react when mom says it's time for your math lesson? I bet you react just like this. You can't hardly wait to get to the math lesson. So I know how excited you get. Or you might be like this. Who's going first? Who's going first? Who's doing it? Who's doing it? Who's going first? And then you're off and running. And just like we're off and running today, we are going to be on page 697, comparing metric lengths. And we are going to get started today with this. We've got two sides here, and what they want us to do is they want us to find two objects in your house that you can draw a picture of, and then you're going to measure each object. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going in my house. I'm going to measure my Kleenex box because I'm pretty well. We'll see how the Kleenex box goes. Generally, I'm not too bad at doing rectangles. I can kind of do a rectangular prism here. And then that's the top of the box. Okay, so that's my Kleenex box. Use your imagination. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to draw a picture of a plate. Because Mr. Swint and I are getting ready for dinner. So we've got the plate. I've got my Kleenex box. And I'm going to use my centimeter ruler. And I'm going to measure both. So first I'll start with my box of Kleenexes. And we did this yesterday. And as I recall, we were at 22 centimeters for this particular lesson. So it's 22. So I'm going to put 22 down below here. My dinner plate is 26 centimeters. So what they want us to do today is circle the object that's longer. So actually my dinner plate is larger than my box of Kleenexes. Lots of good food can go on that plate. On the next page, they're showing two tennis rackets. You can compare lengths of objects. So this first racket they're saying is 69 centimeters. The second green racket is 76 centimeters. The blue tennis racket is, and we'll just mark that down. We're just going to go over what they're showing us there. I'm feeling a little like orange right now, so I'll do orange. So we'll write 69. Just trace over. The green racket we said was 76 centimeters. The blue racket is how many centimeters shorter than the green racket? Well, remember when we're comparing the lengths, I have to subtract the two. So I'm going to go ahead and find some white space here, and I need to subtract 76 minus 69 and put our subtraction sign. I start with my ones. 6 minus 9. We know that I can't take 9 away from 6. There's not enough. More on the floor, I need to go next door. So I'm going to cross off the 7 and make that a 6. And now this 6, I can add 10 more to it and it becomes 16. Well, 16 minus 9, you can figure out or use your fingers. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I know it's 7. And 6 minus 6 is 0. So the blue racket is 7 centimeters shorter than the green racket. Let's take a look down below. I have my lunchbox. This lunchbox, if you measured, and I'm going to pretend I'm going to do my lunchbox here, it's about 16 centimeters. Mrs. Swint's key to the classroom is only 4 centimeters. So the lunchbox is how many centimeters? First of all, is it shorter or is it longer? Well, the lunchbox is longer than, of course, that little tiny key. So I'm going to write longer. And then I have to subtract the two to figure out the difference. So I can tell that 16 minus 4. And if you're not quite sure, I can write that up, lining everything up. 6 minus 4 is 2. 1 minus 0 is 1. I know there it's 12 centimeters longer. How about the slide? Well, I ran outside to measure my kid's slide. And this is in meters. I'm using meter stick because it's a lot longer. So my meter stick, which has 100 centimeters, my meter stick, when I measured it outside, it told me it was about 6 meters. Mrs. Swin's car, however, was about 8 meters. So the car is 2 meters longer than the slide. I subtract 6 from 8, and I got the 2 meters. Let's go to the next page for independent practice. On the next page, they're showing several items. First of all, the length of the lockers. When I went back to school the other day and I measured the length, it was about, I'm going to say, let's get our pen back. I like my orange. It seems to be working today. It was about 12 centimeters. Now, the slide length here was 13 meters. Actually, we'll call it 15. Makes it more exciting. I want you to tell me the slide is how many meters, so you need to subtract longer or shorter. I'm going to give you some measurements here. The next one would be, it looks like a knife. And my knife in my house is about 21 centimeters, actually probably more like 20 centimeters. My little salt and pepper shaker over there, they're about 11. My friends, you need to subtract 20 from 11 to find the difference. So the knife is how many centimeters longer or shorter? Well, we know it's longer. It's 20 compared to 11. Let's take a look at the swing set here. Mrs. Swint went out and I drove around till I found this long swing set. This swing set was huge. It was actually 22 meters. And I compared it to the basketball rim at the same playground. And that basketball was around 14 meters. Now remember, you're going to have to do some regrouping in all of these. My hairbrush, well, Mrs. Swin's hairbrush is around 24 centimeters. But the Brett that I might be wearing is only, it looks like my Brett's about 10 centimeters because I use those great big ones. So I'm giving you all of the measurements. What I'd like for you to do is to tell me if they're longer or shorter, and then you'll tell me by how much. Gives us some subtraction practice. Problem solving on the next page, it says the red skateboard is 75 centimeters long. The blue skateboard is 83 centimeters long. How much longer is the purple skateboard? So you're doing just what you did on the other page. I have to tell how much longer something is. I have a red that's 75 and a purple that's 83. I know that I need to subtract, putting the larger number on top, and 83 minus 75. Remember, again, just like on several of the problems next on the last page, you needed to regroup. More on the floor, you have to go next door. If you're not sure what 13 minus 5 is, count back. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Stop right there. I counted back 5. I have 8. And then I know that this is 7 from 7. So it's 7 meters longer. Marcus ran 50 meters. Will ran 67 meters. How much farther did Will run? Again, you need to subtract the two measurements, and you need to tell us what the difference is between the two. Last but not last, but not least, is the brain builder. Alec rode his bike 82 meters. Kyla rode her bike 14 meters farther than Alec. How far did Kyla ride her bike? Well, if she rode it farther, we know it's going to be a number that's larger than 82. So we have to add 14 to 82 to find out how many meters Kyla has rode her bike. So add these two together. Friends, you do not have to do right math tonight. We'll cross that off. And let's take a look at your homework to make sure there's nothing tricky here. On your homework, Mrs. Swint's going to help you out here. We're going to look at this spoon, and Mrs. Swint is I'm going to say that spoon is 17 centimeters. Now, if you want to measure your own from home, by all means, go ahead. But if you're kind of stuck with a measuring tool, which by now you probably should have one, but the spoon is 17 centimeters and the plate is going to be 22 centimeters. Tell me how much longer or shorter that spoon is. The house. If Mrs. Swint measures her house in meters, Mr. Swint, how many meters do you think our house is from there to there? 24? Mr. Swint said 24. But Mrs. Swint's car, oh, this is a truck. Must be Mr. Swint's big truck. We're going to say his truck is about 10 meters. Let's make it 11 just to make it more fun. So there are your two values. On the next page, you have a crayon. The crayon's going to be 9 centimeters. So we'll give you that. And this particular book or notebook is going to be 25. The couch in my living room is 4 meters. And the chair, the height of this chair is 2 meters. The word problem's pretty straightforward. Make sure you do write a number sentence to show me how you find your answer. And then test practice, you're just adding your two values together. All right, my friends, you're all set for the week. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your Friday, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.